Mr. Pick,
Welcome back to the show, you guys.
and we're going to be recapping the Vikings and the Eagles game. Vikings took this one 23-21.
Close game.
We knock out some stats right quick. 301 yards, the tub for Kirk Cousins. Murray didn't do much. Latavius Murray or Stephen Diggs, I don't know why he even had rushing yards. Murray had 42 yards, 11 carries. Vikings still not running enough, but that doesn't matter because they got the dub. Thielen had a really good game. Diggs had a really good game. Their defense played really well. First a turnover that scored a touchdown that probably was a big difference in this game in my eyes. Carson Wentz had a really good game, even though he was getting eaten alive by the line.
Yep.
Jai didn't do nothing. The running game didn't do nothing for the Eagles. Ertz had a really good game, but outside that, really didn't do much either. But the storyline of this video is, can the Eagles right the ship of this season, or is it just going to be a doomed hangover season for the Eagles?
Yep. I think this is going to be the hangover season. I think this is going to be that season where they got to just recalculate things and come back next year. The offensive line is looking as good. Wentz is getting knocked around, and that's really bad. You don't want a guy that's coming from an injury getting knocked around.
Yeah.
And the defense ain't playing as well as they were last year either. So I think this is going to be I think they're going to do okay, but I don't think they're going to make the playoffs. And of course, I don't think they're going to repeat. So yeah, man, I think this is going to be their down year. They had a rough game in this one. Carson Wentz didn't play terrible, but like I said, the line was getting him harassed, not helping him, and he was getting harassed. Jay Ajayi, he was my player of the game, and man, he let me down. Didn't run the ball well, fumbled I think they were like around the 12-ish yard line. So they're about to score, and he fumbled. And of course, Minnesota recovers it, and they went down the field and scored a touchdown. So yeah, man, just not a good game for the Eagles. They did come back, started to come back in that fourth quarter. They scored 15 points to Vikings 3, so they made it a game again. I will say the defense made enough necessary plays to keep them in that game. But yeah, man, Minnesota, man, just end up looking and being the better team in this one. Kirk Cousins played outstanding. He only missed 7 passes in this game. One of the touchdowns he threw to Adam Thielen was, oh god, super pretty. I always bash Kirk Cousins because he throws a lot of picks and stuff, and I don't know.
He's not clutch.
Yeah, he's just not clutch. So I kind of mess around with him, but he did, man. He balled out today. Looked really amazing. Adam Thielen, man, what can you say about this guy? Went from bagging groceries to bagging touchdowns, and he's just a credible receiver, man. Really, I haven't seen a flaw from this guy. He's a really great route runner.
Yeah.
He's got great hands.
Yeah. Pretty quick, fast.
Pretty quick for a white boy. He is. He's a very talented receiver, man. They got Stephon Diggs on the other side, and
he has a crazy story as well.
Yeah. So, yeah, man. This is what, but leading up to all this is what they Minnesota went to go get Kirk Cousins for, to play like this. If he plays like this, man, Minnesota could easily be the top of the division, which is, I think they are the top of the division. We're both, I believe, 2-2 now, and 1, but we tied, but I think they go ahead because we're just having a bad season. So pretty sure they're up at number 1 right now, and
doesn't really matter right now.
But yeah, if they keep rolling though, they're going to be number 1 and probably roll into the playoffs. If he keeps playing like this is the Kirk Cousins that they need. If we get that, Redskins Kirk Cousins that makes mistakes and throws picks and just doesn't play well.
I think the Bears are actually in the number 1 division, 3-1.
Oh yeah, I didn't even think about that. So yeah, they're Bears, but like I said, if he keeps playing like this, they can easily be up there. I think Minnesota's defense got some fixing to do. They ain't as good as they were last year, but they're still pretty solid. I will say that. But yeah, man, Minnesota ended up pulling it out at the last second and kicking a field goal to get out of here. And yeah, man, overall good win for Minnesota.
Yeah, I'm not fully on this is a rebuild season for the Eagles, but if they lose again, I think they will be. the mistakes and the lack of play from the offensive line has been the whole big crux of the season so far for me.
Mm-hmm.
Part of it is because Wentz is not moving around enough because he's just not fully recovered from that injury, and they were having these problems last year. But Carson was such an amazing athlete that he kind of masked that. But those problems are kind of coming up to show this season. So they got to get that offensive line fixed to a certain degree. They got to get a running game. Ajayi's been whacked this season. I don't like saying that about players, but you got to call a spade, and he has not been good this year.
No.
He's been looking like a Ajayi from the Dolphins, so
Right.
that's not looking great for him so far this year. Receivers for Eagles got to step up. Jeffrey's still kind of getting in his groove, so I'm not going to bash him too much, but other receivers got to step up. I think Jordan Matthews only had 1 catch, and the other guys didn't play great. Gibson didn't do shit. Aguilar didn't do well.
The only guy that really did well and has been doing well this entire season is Zach Ertz.
Yeah.
He balled out.
Yeah. Anyway, Vikings defense looked better. Granted, that offensive line for Eagles playing terrible, but if you improve, maybe the confidence can get back, and maybe the Vikings defense will look like they did last year.
Right.
Good win by the Vikings. Eagles got a lot of things to figure out, and if they don't get it figured out really soon, their season's going to go down the toilet.
So, real quick, just to throw in, just throwing it in because, I'm thinking about it over here. Question for you. Do you think they threw Carson Wentz in there too early?
Yeah.
I think so too. I think they could have sit him out a couple more games because he didn't have no reps.
Yeah.
You got to think this guy's, knee and legs are probably stiff as a board.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't, he hasn't got to move them around like he wants to and practice like he wants to. And, get acclimated with his team. I don't care if you got the same team as you did last year. You still need to be, playing with these guys and getting prepared with these guys for the whole new season. That's the thing. It's a whole new season. So, I think they threw them. I think they threw him in there too early. I think they hit the panic button way too quick.
Because Nick Foles was playing like crap.
I mean, he was, but that's the thing. Do you want to just distinguish your whole season by just throwing him in there real quick?
And the other thing is they're 1-1. I mean, they lost to a Buccaneers team that Fitzmagic was on his little run, and they beat the Falcons.
Yeah, and let's just say they don't throw him in so early, and they wait a couple more games or 3 games, and they lose those games. But he comes in, he's a lot more fresher. He's actually probably closer to 100%, and he comes out, has a lot better and balls out. I mean, we don't know that exactly, but still, I think they threw him in too early. I think his legs are just probably like boards right now, and these shots he's taking ain't helping. But yeah, I had that on my mind while you were talking, and I just had that thought. I was like, I wonder if they threw him in too early, and I thought so, and I had to ask you that. But yeah, I think they kind of did, and it's showing that he's still rusty, man.
People saying that people might say that he's 100% healthy because the trainers said he was, or coaches, or whatever. Well, that's one, not always the case. 2, he doesn't look like it. So I mean, if he is 100% healthy, then he doesn't look like it. So I don't know about that.
Prime example, if people want to say that, look at our quarterback, Aaron Rodgers. He's not been 100% this entire season. He's still out there because it's just Aaron Rodgers. He's going to be out there. Mm-hmm. He literally have to have a snapped leg to not be out there. Mm-hmm. And yeah, he's not looked great. We lost today in a bad game against the Lions, and there's a lot of throws that he just missed. There's a couple throws. Jimmy Graham was open, and he just overshot him. So he's not even looking 100%. And really, I'm not blaming that on anybody but Aaron Rodgers, because I know that's Aaron Rodgers making those decisions. Mm-hmm. So yeah, man. But the point is that shows you if you're not 100%, you're not going to play 100%. And look like 100% you, and he didn't. Wentz and Rodgers are not looking like the elite quarterbacks we know them to be. So, yeah, man, you gotta just take it easy with these quarterbacks, man. Really, I'm kind of with this man. He said it earlier. If we have a bad season, if we lose another game, I think we just need to hang it up, kind of sit Rodgers down and try next year. But that'll do it for me. Is that good for you?
Yeah. Good.
All right, man. And please comment, like, subscribe, you guys. Of course, we'd love to hear you guys' thoughts and opinions on these topics. We'll see you on the next one.
Thanks for watching.